So hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a recent acquisitions because there was multiple purchases all at once, and it touches on a subject on a 1031 exchange. And this was one of the most challenging things that I've done in my career. We were very privileged to have one of our partners come out of a very successful exit on a property he had for many years. But he ran into the challenge that he had to 1031 this property into another deal. If you ever participated in a 1031 or have not, it's a very challenging transaction. As you know, people use it all the time, but your window of acquisition is very short. You have 45 days to identify 3 properties, and then you have the 6 months to close it. Now, during that window of 45 days, it is all hands on deck trying to find a deal. And what tends to happen sometimes is you're in such a hurry to find a deal that you could put yourself in a situation that you might buy a property that you might not normally buy unless you were in that 1031 exchange, which is not a good thing, because then you could overpay for something just because you want to save on your taxes, or buy something that maybe is not worth what it is, but you were just pressured because you didn't want to pay the taxes. I see that happen all the time. So this particular deal, we had to move a large sum of money, and we were on the hunt to find properties, but it was very challenging. We ended up acquiring a property in Gainesville. Now, the first acquisition that we bought was just a small portion of 120 units. Then from there, that wasn't big enough for the whole entire 1031 exchange. What we started doing as a group is figuring out what properties were in the area that we could buy simultaneously at the same time. And from then on, we just decided, let's just start picking up the phone and calling sellers. That's something that a lot of investors don't do, but successful brokers in the commercial business do very well, and they build relationships throughout that process. So we did the same thing. We said, okay, we have this window of time. Let's get the data of everyone that's around this particular property that we're buying, and let's just pick up the phone and call them and tell them that, look, we're buying this property, and we're willing to buy your property at this price. And if you say yes today, you're going to have a cash contract, and we'll close in this many days. And we were very successful at doing that. And in that process, we purchased 427 units, and we had contracts executed within 45 days of 427 units. Now, I can't tell you what a roller coaster ride that was. It was very challenging, and we spoke to a lot of people in that process, a lot of no's, but we were able to pull it off. And we were successful, and our investors are very happy. And now we have a 427 unit portfolio in Gainesville. So this type of asset was not a traditional multifamily where it's all the units are together in one place in a gated community or anything like that. It was a portfolio consists of 8 units, 4 plexes, 6 units. It was just multiple buildings with different owners. But what we found in this community is that there was only a few owners who owned all these properties next to each other. So it made it easier for us to speak to a couple owners that owned 30 units here, 100 units here, 180 units here, and that's how we were able to get to 427. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes you gotta get creative on how you buy apartments and multifamily. In the past, we've bought apartment complexes next to each other or smaller units, different folios of 20, 10 units, 4 plexes, and we've bought small communities that consist of that type of asset. There's some pros and cons to it. One of the pros is you have the flexibility to sell off individual properties as you exit. The cons is that you're going to have separation between properties. It's not all in one block. You might have multiple roofs, but it's just another way of doing business in the syndication business and the multifamily business. We like it. We've had a lot of success for it. Sometimes those properties roll under the radar because investors are just looking for big multifamily complexes all sitting on one property. So we found a little niche on those type of assets where we could buy those and just round them up and put them into one package. So this acquisition in particular, there was no financing. We had a lot of money to go through the exchange, and we bought it all cash. Our investment strategy here is to start fixing up some of these units. As the units start to vacate, we'll remodel the units, fix them up, create some value. Some of the units are in good condition, some of them are not, some of them need work. A lot of roofs, we've been doing a lot of roofs and doing a lot of exterior work. Our plan is to create as much value through the process of buying and rehabbing and fixing up these properties, and then do a refinance, get some of our investors' capital out and reinvest it into another deal. So if you have any questions on how we did this deal, how did we pull off this 1031, just hit me up on IG, send me your questions, and I'll see you next time.